Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the Pi Network. The project launched in 2019 and has grown up to, I think, 7 million users, which is huge for a project that is still in beta. So I was really curious to find out what this is all about. As in all my videos, I do like to ask if you would love to press the like button and subscribe if you enjoy this video at the end. Thanks. So the first thing we see when you go on the Pi website, which is minepi.com, is all about mining. So mining crypto is hard, investing in crypto is risky. Too many of us are left out of the cryptocurrency revolution. Pi makes crypto mining easy because you can do it on your phone. So the whole page is focused on their app, and their app allows you to mine Pi. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is joy. I can mine very easily, but I can only mine PiCoin, and PiCoin isn't listed. PiCoin doesn't have any value, and if the only value of this network is that you can mine easily, then I don't see any value. So I was really curious as to why they are already up to 7 million users and how the whole thing works. So of course we click on how Pi works, then we get a white paper. It's a bit of a strange white paper because a big portion explains on how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency works, what is wrong with the first generation of crypto, why it is great that you can mine on your mobile phone, and then we get into the protocol. So apparently the protocol is based on the Stellar Consensus protocol, and then they refer to a bunch of different projects like Neo, Ripple, and so on. And of course they take a lot of authority from Stellar because they repeat Stellar often. Then when it's time to take a look at what Pi really stands for, well, we get some general information as to why it should be different, and I guess the main thing is that you can mine Pi on almost every platform. Then we dive into the nodes and how they work. Basically, they're exactly the same as the one from the Stellar Consensus algorithm, but they add a trust graph. So trust is very important, and I'll tell you why I find this very questionable, as you see, as how the system is being built out right now. Then we get some information on the mobile app, on the mining rewards and the algorithm. It's really basic explanation right here. Then we go to the mining rewards and we see again the same tactic of referring to already existing names. We see Stellar, we see Bitcoin, we explain why Bitcoin is bad and why mining on your phone is better. Not really very interesting details. Then we go to the transaction fees. Again, we refer to another network. We refer to Bitcoin. We say that they do it the same way. Then there is a limit of how many transactions can be included, but they don't specify how limited it is and how many transactions will be included. When it comes to limitations and future work, they only refer to the Stellar protocol, and they're not really referring to their own work, and then they leave it as an open question. Then it's time to dive into the Pi economic model. Pi creates a fixed supply of Pi for each person that joins the network up to 100 million participants. Sadly, they don't specify what the fixed supply is. Questionable. Then we go to the referral supply. Again, we see the same thing. They say there is a referral supply, but they don't specify how much. Questionable. Then we go to the developer reward supply. Again, they say they will mint alongside each coin a developer reward. Sadly, they don't specify how much. Then we have the last one, logarithmically decreasing function, which is great, but why don't you specify how much? Another very important aspect I am missing here in the economic model is that they don't say how much the owners have, how much the investors have. There is no information on if there is a pre-mine, so this is all very questionable. Then when we go into the Pi stack, we see again that trust is very important. Sadly, there is only a very small segment focused on the trust algorithm, and again, we'll focus on that in a second, why I find this very questionable. Then we have the Pi Attention Marketplace. Basically, they want to do the same that the basic attention token is doing. Then they talk about a marketplace on which you can sell anything. I guess this is an eBay or something. They leave it very open. There are no details, so it's just a general idea. Then we go to the App Store. Again, very general idea, nothing specific. Alright, it's time to take a look at the governance model. So they say they're a cryptocurrency for and by the people. They start by addressing the problems that the first generation governance models have. Then they say which model they're going to use. They refer to an article of Vlad Zamfir, one of Ethereum's core developers, and then they explain how they are going to start. At the start, they're going to make all the main decisions themselves, and they reference to Bitcoin and Ethereum that they do it the same way. Again, this is very normal. If you start with a project, you want to move forward and you want to make all the basic decisions so you are sure that everything is following the vision that you have for the project. After we hit 5 million people, which we have, they're going to introduce a provisional committee. Now, I was surprised that it hasn't happened yet, so I took a look at the Coinvention, which they held online last month, and what I could see in their videos is that they're going to ask the community which kind of people they want to see on the committee, and then they will create a committee and hand over some of the decisions to the committee. And this comes to a big surprise to me. I think if you say you're going to make a blockchain network for and by the people, then why isn't there a moment in time where you give the entire network to the people? There are some great projects out there with governance tokens, and they have a same start-off point. They create the project, they make sure that everything is running nicely, and then there is a point where they give it to the community. And in this system, there is no public code. They're making all the main decisions. They are assigning a committee, but there is no real power within the network for those people, and they have no clear point or any intention in this white paper to give the project to the people. So I'm really confused as how this can be a truly decentralized network for and by the people. So I hope they solve this issue, or they can give some more clarification on this topic. Then we go to the roadmap, which is not even a roadmap. There are no dates, no real plan. I think that is the red line that you can pull throughout the whole white paper. Then it's time to take a look at the team. So they really like to say they have Stanford PhDs, which I guess is nice. Of course, anyone can go to the website of Stanford, look who the alumni are, take a photo and put it on their website. Thankfully, they didn't do this. They actually are the people who they say they are, because when you look at the PyConvention, it is actually them being showing up on the videos. So thankfully, that is all the way it should be, and I'm happy that they had the guts to put the team on the team page and make it public. So at least that's something they did very well. Then when I want to look to some more information on how the whole thing works, you don't really find anything. You can click on PyNode, you can download the app. Then when you can take a look at the platform, you can look at the SDK, which is very limited. Then you can test our demo app. And let's be honest, this is just a JavaScript form, so not really impressive. And then you can find documentation for the JavaScript. Other than that, there are no partners, there are no apps being announced. They did have the PyConvention where they announced a game and one app. When we take a look at the game,
by matching, by clearing the screen.
So the game is called Sailor Pop, and apparently you can use your Pi tokens to buy stuff. Now, to be honest, I really don't understand. We're not talking about NFTs. You can just buy coins. There is no reason to put this on a blockchain. There is no use for this function on a blockchain. So I figured, why not type in Sailor Pop on Google? And guess what? We get 59 million results. These are all HTML game websites. So you can basically just play the game anywhere where you want. This game was not developed for the Pi network at all. It is just a JavaScript based game, and it is not specifically for the Pi network. So I don't know why this is the best example they could give for development on their network, because it's not even developed for their network. Then when we take a look at their Twitter, which is impressive, I must say, they have about over 200,000 followers. They're not following anyone else, but they have 200,000 followers, which is impressive marketing. And then we take a look at, for example, this post. The whole process is to be determined. Can you imagine? They have not decided when they will stop mining. And this is September 14th this year. The project has been running for a year now, and they haven't decided if or when they will stop mining. Then when you take a look at the tweet comments, you see a lot of people asking when they can do KYC, why is there no delete button, and I guess a lot of people are also asking when they can actually sell their PiCoins. Now the reason why everybody wants to do KYC is because they will need to do KYC to sell their PiCoins, if they can ever sell their PiCoins when it's ever going to be listed, and they do not have a date for when it will be listed. Then when we go to the Google App Store, we see that already 111,000 people have downloaded and voted for this app. As you can see, the app is really simple. You can also have different levels, and this really looks like a multi-level marketing system. I mean, you can be a pioneer, or you can be a contributor by inviting other people, or you can run a node. So basically, refer as many people as you can, and then you will get better rewards. And this brings me to the whole aspect of the trust system. Right now, everybody is sharing their link. Then when you, for example, go look on the questions that people ask online, if it's good or not, I guess the basic reply that all the Pi people give is that there is no risk. You just install the app on your phone, and then you don't have to pay anything, you don't have to invest anything, you just have to click once a day. So what's the risk? Why not do it? I mean, Bitcoin wasn't anything when it started, so they like to compare it with Bitcoin. And then what you often see is that people are posting their referral code. So if so many people are just publicly, here again, posting their referral codes, then how trustworthy is somebody's trust circle? I mean, you're inviting people publicly just for financial gain, and then they say they have a trust system. I mean, how much would you trust somebody you don't know? So how much is the value of their trust network right now? I think it's valueless. It is just useless at this point. Now, because I don't want to drag out this video any longer, let's just go over the pros and cons. So right now, the only positive I can say is that at this point, it doesn't cost you anything. You just have to install a free app. The only question I have, we don't know what the code is behind the app. There is no GitHub. There is no public development. It is a black box. You don't know what they put into the code. You don't know what they put into the app, but let's just assume that these are honest people. Now, if you only have to create an app with a message board and a button that you can click once a day, then of course it doesn't drain battery, and then of course you can run it on every phone. The only question I have is we cannot see if there really is code behind the product. We only have an app that allows you to click a button and post a message. That's it. We don't know if there's a real blockchain. There is no public code. So what is it actually? And right now it seems a lot like a very empty box. So my final conclusion for Pi Network is that they did an awesome job of marketing, and this is something that a lot of projects are struggling with, and this is something they really nailed down. The only issue that I see is that they created a huge community, but they don't have a real product yet. So they want to have the input of the community to create a product, but there is a problem with this community. So they like to compare with Bitcoin, and that a lot of people started with Bitcoin when it was zero value. Now the big difference is that people who started with Bitcoin, they had a vision. They wanted to fight against a corrupt system, and they want to create an alternative. They wanted to create a better world. Now the people who are getting into PiCoin, clearly when you read all the comments, they are getting into PiCoin not because of a same noble idea that the people had for Bitcoin. No, they are getting into PiCoin because they want to have the potential gains that Bitcoin has gotten so far. So most of the people are getting into PiCoin for financial gain, and I don't think that is a really strong community and strong motivator to build a nice project, and especially if you don't have a clear vision that is outlined for the project itself and you are still asking the community what they want to see. So I don't think that they are trying to scam people. I just think they have a really big challenge in finding one common goal in a community full of people who just want to mint a coin and sell it for money. That's it for this video. I'm really curious to your ideas about PiCoin. I know PiCoin has a lot of followers, so I really want to hear your feedback, and I really hope that you can prove me wrong on this project. Please do give this video a like, post a comment, and then we'll have an open discussion. Don't forget to subscribe and help me grow this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.